everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Telepathy, our weekly podcast, which we've been a little bit inconsistent with, but hopefully we post every
Yes,
Tuesday.
we will be, I think. Today we finally figured out the strategy for how we're going to do this for the next 8 weeks. Or really only, phew,
Bless you.
sorry, really only 6 weeks now. I already have done 2 weeks of my study abroad.
Yes, so if you couldn't tell, we have a lot of life updates, hence the reason why we're doing a full episode of just like us yapping about our recaps and stuff because a lot has gone down
Wait,
since we recorded.
we should call it recap yap.
A recap yap. Wait.
Or like yap and recap.
Recap and yap and recap. Wait.
Yeah,
Okay.
that should be
A new
this
series
should
is
be
just
like a new
unlocked. So
series.
everyone buckle your
Yes, I
seatbelts. A
love
new
this.
series just unlocked. But yes,
And it rhymes with yes or past a little bit.
yeah, it has the same like energy as Yasser Pass in terms of like cringy
Yeah.
titles. But yeah, we're still gonna do our classic icebreaker and camp question, and it is Anna's turn to come up with that for today's episode.
Yes. So the camp question this week is name, age, and what is one place that you do not want to travel to, but it can't be inside the US because I
Okay.
feel like that's boring.
Right, because like there's some states that I'm like, eh. Um, so hi, I'm Enzo. I'm 16, and I guess maybe somewhere like really, really, really cold. Like I don't know if Antarctica is on there for me. And I know like a lot of people
Hmm.
don't travel there, but some people are really determined to check off all seven continents. But I don't know if maybe I will one day or something, but it's just not super high on the list for me because it's far and cold and just requires a lot of preparation and stuff, which I don't have the energy for at the moment.
Yeah. I honestly didn't know that like people traveled there until a few years ago.
Yeah, we should also do
Um,
like an additional question of where are you recording right now because it really just sets the
oh
scene.
yes.
I'm just in my bed again,
Yes.
as usual.
Of course. My name is Anna. My age is 21, and um I asked this question before actually really thinking critically about where this location would be. Um, I don't know. I feel like I would also say, I don't know, Antarctica would be cool though, but like maybe like somewhere in the desert. Maybe somewhere in like the really, I don't know like a specific country, but it would probably be somewhere in Africa or like the Middle East where it's just like literally just the desert because I don't want to be stuck in the middle of the desert. I feel like that's scary.
Right. And like heat, and it's just like miles of sand, and you're like, where am I?
Yeah.
And there's like the lack of water.
Yeah, like I'd like to go to those places if it was in the city or like a safari or something cool like that. But
Coachella. No,
like,
I'm just kidding.
yeah, but not in the middle of the desert. Yeah. Okay, and I'm recording from the top of a hill in a medieval village created in the 13th century in France. Um,
That is so
I'm
niche. That's
in,
like a Lana Del Rey song. Like Lana Del Rey's new album is like Top of the
wait,
Hill in a village in France, medieval in the 13th
yeah,
century. Okay, I like butchered
that's
that.
so true. That's so true. Yeah, no. So my school has a campus in Lacoste, France, which is like an hour from Marseille. I was just in Marseille this morning, actually. We'll get into that. But basically, my school bought like, I was under the impression that like this was a rundown medieval village that my school's president just like saw and decided to buy. But apparently, it used to be an art school starting in the 70s, and it was called Lacoste School of the Arts. And then they like changed it into like SCAD bought it. So it was like a school before, but it's really awesome here, and it also kind of feels like a camp. Like I feel like I'm at summer camp, but like medieval edition.
Camp question. Oh my gosh, everything. It's a full circle.
Yes, no,
Anyway, so now
literally.
for our music and TV shout outs. I honestly have been listening to a lot of my old quarantine playlist. So I'm shouting out the song Maybe This Is Time by Alfie Templeman. It just feels like
Ooh,
quarantine to me. And I'm getting flashbacks to this time in 2020 where I feel like life just felt like the adults are talking by the Strokes.
oh, oh my gosh, I love that.
And then I haven't watched any movies, unfortunately.
Yeah, quarantine music is literally the best. Okay, I have a few shout outs because it's been a while actually, and I will admit, like I've been on TikTok. I've had TikTok on my phone for the past like 3 weeks and I've not deleted it.
Me too, and it's
But
so
actually
bad.
for the past week though, I forgot about it, which is maybe a good thing that I don't have it, or maybe it's good that I have it on my phone because it's not like a special, I don't know. Um, I will say that my current April playlist, like normally my playlists are very, like I do a lot of exploration each month, but this month my playlist is a lot of TikTok music, which is bad. Or not bad.
TikTok can be a good
No,
place to find music, but sometimes it sucks
I
because
will say the pop music recently has been really good. Like, um, I've gotten more into Chapel Rowan, or Roan, of course, now that she's like getting more popular and just other things. But that's not my shout out. My shout out is I've been trying to listen to like more French music while I'm here, especially the first week I was here. I like exclusively listened to French music. And I've been listening to a lot of like Francois Hardy, who's like an artist from the 60s, and she's the very like just like classic French sound that you would imagine. Um
I love like La Vie Rouge, you know, like I do love French music and I know it's such
yeah.
a basic one, but like that song is so good.
Yeah, no, her music is a lot like that, just kind of like the classic vintage sounding.
Yes.
I really like Tous les garçons et la filles. I'll add that to the playlist. Speaking of, we have a playlist called the Telepathy playlist that is just a collection of all the music that we've shouted out. And if you want to go check that out, you can go to our Instagram at the Telepathy Pod. Go to the little highlight that has a link to the playlist, and that's where we're adding these songs. I also wanted to shout out. We'll get into all these story times later, but I went to the Declan McKenna concert in London 2 nights ago, or 3 nights ago. I don't remember anymore. 2 nights ago, yeah, and it was amazing. Declan McKenna's keyboardist Henry has a band now, and it's called Soft Launch. And they only have one song on Spotify right now, but it's really good. They were amazing. So Cartwheels by Soft Launch is my other shout out for the week.
Wait, so like did his band open up for Declan McKenna and then he played the
Yeah,
keyboard throughout the
yeah,
show?
they opened, yeah.
Wow, that's actually
And
so cool.
he sings a little bit, like Henry sings a little bit, but there's another main lead singer, but they all kind of switch around a lot. And they performed like eight songs, I think, and I was loving them all. And then I looked at their Spotify and it turns out they only have one song actually on Spotify, which stinks.
Oh, so you got like a real
Um,
unreleased listening party
yeah,
basically.
yeah. No, I love Henry. I, I'm sad that we didn't like meet him that one time because we were standing next to him for like a good 30 minutes
Oh my
a few
gosh.
months ago.
Yes. Okay, wait,
Um,
where to begin? Because it's been a while since we recorded, literally since the last time we spoke. Not me and Anna, but like we as the telepathy community have spoke. Um,
I feel like we haven't spoken a lot either though, because
that
I feel
is
like we've
true.
both
It's
been
just been a
so
lot of like
busy.
random updates, like, oh, here's this building, but it hasn't been like a full.
Literally. No, I've been bad at texting recently because I've been so busy and just like I haven't had good connection all the time and stuff.
Yeah, I've been so busy too. And it's been hard to find times to record with time zones and all of that. And the spring play is next week. So
Yeah.
we had like the tech day yesterday, but also since the last time we talked, I think the last episode, I was saying that the Nicki Minaj concert was the next day. So I've seen Nicki Minaj twice
Oh my
since we
gosh.
last recorded, which that's an update right there. I guess I'll just talk about the concert really quickly.
Yeah.
So it was in Charlotte and it was a lot of fun. We drove down there with my parents and I mean, I went by myself. So I guess I'll talk about the solo concert experience.
Mm-hmm.
I literally forgot that I went there alone because the Barbs, it's just like we already all know each other. Like everybody has similar interests and like Nikki just like unites us. And so I went in the lounge and actually like met up with a friend who I would talked with in this like Gag City Charlotte group chat that we had before the show. So she was in the lounge too. Shout out Simone. And we were just like partying it up in there, like the music. It was so good. It was just like really cool. And I've never had a VIP experience. So that was like
Yeah.
crazy for that to be like my first one. And then, so I had floor tickets and there was technically assigned seating, but I like ran up to the barricade. So I like got there, but then the security guard like kicked us all back to our seats. And my seat was like still close to the barricade, but I was like, no, this isn't enough. So I kept like going back because I was like, how are they going to expect us to sit down or like be like by our seats when we're in the floor, like during a Nicki concert? Like, and a few people were getting mad. Like the security guard was kind of giving some attitude. And the girl next to me was like, I don't think you understand. Like the security guard was like, you have to go back to your seat. And she's like, but it's Nicki. And he was like, I do this type of thing all the time. He was like, last week I saw Alicia Keys. Like, this isn't anything new. And she was like, but it's Nicki. Like, we don't care. Um, so yeah, eventually I like ran up and there was kind of some drama in my section because this one girl had a fan and was like being a little obnoxious and she kept like hitting the girl next to her. So they were like kind of fighting. I actually got a clip in my vlog where I filmed a little bit and I was like, guys, I paid $800 for this. Like, stop. But the show was so good. And she had like so many different outfit changes and hair changes and just a bunch of different looks.
It looked
And
so awesome.
by far like the best night of my life. So then she came to Dreamville 2 weeks later. And I was like, there's no way I'm not going to be there if she's like so close to me. So I bought tickets for that. And I couldn't get off of work.
It's crazy how big Dreamville is getting. Like,
I know. I
the fact that
honestly don't feel
SZA was there.
I don't feel like Raleigh is suitable for a music festival, but I'll get into that. So I couldn't get off of work. So on Saturday night, I got off at 9 because I closed really fast and I like booked it to the festival and I literally showed up right as SZA's set started. And going to a
Wow.
festival, I kind of went to the festival alone, which like is a little, honestly, like not a great idea, but I knew somebody there and we met up eventually, but it was like hard to find each other in the crowd and the service was so bad. But going, like being alone there, it was actually like I kind of squeezed my way very close up because I feel like when it's a
Is
big
it where they
group,
typically have the sunflower fields in the summer?
literally, yeah, it's Dorothea Dix Park there.
But like, is it the actual where the sunflowers grow out of, or is it a different area in the park?
I think so. I honestly could not tell you because like my concepts, I kept getting lost. I didn't know like where any of the entrances was. It was a little bit like hard to find. They had so many roads closed and it just made it worse. Um, but I actually think that if you're like alone at a festival, you can kind of squeeze your way through people because if you're just one person and you're like, excuse me, people are like, yeah, like go ahead. But if you're in a group, that's when people get
Yeah.
annoyed. So
Yeah.
the next night I got off at 6 and then went for Nicki and I met up with the two friends or whatever. And they were kind of like, we're going to sit down and like kind of just like enjoy the concert from afar. And I was like, I love you guys, but like I'm going off.
This is Nicki Minaj. Yeah.
Right. So I did go off by myself and it was just chaotic. It was like very claustrophobic.
So did you like weave your way through to the front?
I tried. It got like really packed and like with SZA it was a little bit more easier,
Yeah.
but with Nicki, everybody was like, yeah.
I'm
So
like
then there was like this
scared of.
random, it was a lot of chaotic energy, like some random like German guy trying to give me a high five. And I'm like, what are you
What?
doing? Like just a lot of weird
No,
stuff.
I get like scared of like at the Declan McKenna concert the other day. I guess I can go ahead and tell this story now because it's like of context. But like
Right.
I realized. So we went to see him at Alexandra Palace in London, which is like the really, I guess, long time big concert hall or whatever. But it's all standing general admission. Like it's basically imagine like 8 basketball courts together
Oh, wow.
and you're all standing. There's no seats. And we got like pretty close. Like I'd say there were like 20 rows of people in front of us. But packed in really tightly.
Right.
And I realized 5 minutes before Declan came on that I had to pee really bad. And I like had to weave through like tons of people to go, and then I like ran to the bathroom and then I came back like right before he started. Like it's like when the lights turn on and then everybody starts cheering.
Yeah.
That's when I re-entered the room and I was like squeezing through people and I'm like, sorry, excuse me. And I've learned that I'm really good at weaving, but like if I was with a bigger group, like they would not have let me. And then my friends shined the flashlight up and I ended up finding them, but it was like chaotic. And I'm also scared of just getting trampled in those things because also this was the first Declan McKenna concert that I've been to that there are mosh pits because people were literally starting mosh pits like during Mezzanine, which is like that's
It's so
such a
funny.
silly song to do a mosh pit during. They also did it during Isambard, which was awesome. But I was like, I'm like scared of getting trampled because I've heard of that happening.
No, and like when the show starts, everybody pushes forward. But honestly,
Yeah.
the same thing happened to me because okay, Nikki was like an hour late. Um, and I
Why?
read that
I'm confused why people are always late to music festivals.
I think because I know the set before, I think the guy like left the stage or something because there was technical difficulties. I think it's because you're literally in a field trying to recreate like what happens in like an arena. And so it's just like a recipe for disaster. I saw this one
Yeah.
person saying that like they're a security guard and they saw like Nikki pulled up on time but didn't come on for so long. And when she finally came on, it like she did look a little bit like not like disoriented, but and obviously maybe this is just how I saw it based on the context, but it did seem like there was chaos backstage and then she finally came on
Mm,
and it was just like, oh, you have to go on. So her set was cut short and like the crowd was getting
mm.
mad and I had to pee so bad also. But I literally held it until I got home. It was the type where I was like, I'm just gonna hold it.
That's like the worst.
And then it like literally burned after. It's like literally TMI. But um,
No, literally.
do you know when that happens though? When you're like, I'm just gonna
No,
hold it.
last night that happened to me. This was not the concert night, but I like came back and it literally I was like in pain.
Yeah.
Like I had to go so bad.
But the show was
I thought
good.
I genuinely thought that my appendix was bursting
Oh my
and I thought it
God.
was unrelated. I was like, "Oh my gosh," but then I peed and I was fine.
Sometimes you just need to pee. Sometimes you just need to go piss,
Yeah.
girl. But
Yeah.
yeah, that was the Nicki experience. Dreamville, honestly, kind of a mess. The first night after SZA, my parents picked me up and it was not until like 12:30 and I was just like roaming around the streets trying. The service sucks. The roads are closed, but it just
And
makes it
that's not like a
worse.
good I feel like that's like not a good area to be roaming around either because it's like the outskirts of Raleigh.
Right. But at least like there was so many people, so everyone was kind of in the same situation. So it wasn't just like I was alone
True.
wandering. Because
True.
sometimes when it's like a huge cluster of people, you feel more safe than if it was just like a quiet road
Yeah.
and it's 12:30, you know?
Yeah,
But
because
yeah,
that
that
road
was
at
the Nicki
12:30 by
experience.
yourself would be yeah. Huh, okay. That's interesting. Well, I'm glad you got to see her in the normal tour too,
Oh,
because
for sure.
imagine like only having gone to that one and you would have been so disappointed.
Yeah, because I mean, she didn't disappoint. When she came on, she brought the
Yeah,
energy. It
yeah.
was really good. But the set was like cut short, you know, the crowds were
Right.
just like, let's just say when Barbie Dangerous came on, a lot of the people around me didn't know the song. And I was like, what are y'all doing here? Like at this point, just bring me to the front because you guys like,
Yeah. I was seeing videos of Coachella this year and I do want to go to Coachella at some point, but also like I feel like it would be really stressful.
I know that if I went, it would be so chaotic because you're in the desert. There's a lot happening. So many people, a lot of people are doing various things. And you're just like the dust and stuff too.
Yeah.
And that like dehydrates you, but then it's probably like $10 for a sip of water.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Yeah, I could see that being just like a recipe for disaster. But yeah, I can do my story time now of my past few weeks. Unless,
Yes.
did you have anything else to talk
No, that
about?
was it. I didn't mean to like, that was truly yapping.
Yeah, no, this is fun. This really should become a series. So I I've been like so busy and it's also funny because I feel like I've not done much actual schoolwork at all, which is nice. Like me and my roommate are both graphic design majors and our major typically goes in the winter. So like we're not taking graphic design classes, we're just taking like other ones. And they're so much more chill than if we were in our majors. Like for example, everybody else right now is like working on projects that are due tomorrow. And I just like don't really have anything to do, which is the first time in a while that it's been like that. Like I have plenty of stuff to do for my clubs and like YouTube and this, all my hobbies, but like nothing for school really, which is great. Um, but that also leaves us a lot of time to travel. So the first weekend here, we went. So like the first weekend was orientation and all that, and then we had our first week of class. And I'm taking art history, which my art history classroom is literally right there. Um, and I'm and the art history is based around like the region that we're in. So we're just learning about like all the artists that lived here, or not in this village, but like in this area. And then I'm also taking this class called Travel Portfolio, which is basically where we just go on field trips and then we have sketches due based on what we saw, which is really cool. And we've gotten to like experiment a lot with just like drawing with different mediums and like doing watercolor and painting and like colored pencils, and like it's really fun. And we're going on our first official field trip on Tuesday. But yeah, so the first full weekend here, we went to Paris, which was like so fun. Wait, you've been to Paris, right?
Yes.
But how old were you?
I was in 3rd grade.
Okay. Do you remember like what you guys did?
Yeah, I remember like what we saw and stuff. I remember the weather was kind of bad and we were there for like 2 days. So
Okay.
I definitely want to go back, but yeah.
It was so cool. Like I literally want to move there after college. I like genuinely, after I left I was like, yeah, I'm moving here. Um so our Airbnb was in this really nice area that was really just like a residential area. So I felt like I got a feel of like what it would actually be like to live there as just a local. And it felt really safe. Like we didn't see anything sketchy, or like it was like a very safe feeling city, honestly. Um so we went to my favorite part was just like seeing all the cafes and like being able to sit outside at a cafe and just get like a coffee or a croissant. And oh my gosh, the croissants. I know that this is like so cliche, but the croissants are so good in Paris.
I mean, as they should be. We love that.
I've always loved croissants, but I've never been like, this is amazing. And that's what I felt in Paris. And they're gigantic. But we like walked up the Eiffel Tower, and then we got to see the Eiffel Tower at night when it sparkles, and it was just like so amazing. I was excited to see the Seine because of how much I've like heard about it in La La Land and stuff, but it was actually really brown and kind of ugly. But
It's okay. Just do it for the aesthetic.
yeah, exactly. And then we went to the Louvre, which was ginormous. What else did we do? I like already forgot Paris because I've done so much in the past 2 weeks that I like can't keep it all in my brain. But we also went to this, I don't know if you went here when you went to Paris, but if you haven't, you definitely need to go next time you go. It's called Carrette, and it's a bakery, or no, it's like a brunch. I mean, it's just a restaurant, but they do like a really good brunch. And like Paris and like France in general is known for their hot chocolate. So they do like specialty hot chocolate. And I got like this breakfast. It was like a combo, and it comes with hot chocolate, grapefruit juice, a chocolate croissant, and toast with like apricot jam. And it was so good. And it was just like the cutest, like most aesthetic place.
Was it like traditional hot chocolate, or was it kind of like almost like not like hot fudge, but like a thicker consistency?
So I had not, so at Carrette, it was like traditional hot chocolate where it's not very thick. But the day before, I actually got hot chocolate at this other cafe that was really thick, the thick consistency, and it's
Yeah,
not
because
as
that's how it
sweet.
is in Italy.
Yeah, I honestly didn't like that as much because I felt like it was just like clogging up my throat.
It's like really heavy,
Um,
very rich.
yeah, I didn't love that, but I liked the more traditional kind. And like our dining hall here has a hot chocolate machine, and I literally have hot chocolate every night for dinner. Um,
Girl
I have hot
dinner.
chocolate like every day. Yeah. And then, okay, yeah, so we went to Paris. I feel like I'm forgetting something major in Paris.
That your aunt used to live in Paris.
Oh yeah, my aunt used to live in
These
Paris.
are just
No,
La La Land references. So
yeah, I need to watch La La Land again. Um, but like I love it there. It's just like the aesthetic is so it just matches my personality. We went to like a vintage market. Um, this guy was selling like vintage Olympics pins, like the collectible pins that you can stick on backpacks and stuff, not like writing pins. And so I got a Barcelona 1992 pin, which I thought was really
Isn't
cool.
the Olympics in Paris this year?
Yeah, it is. Actually, that's the other thing is like I thought it would be a lot crazier. I thought you'd be able to see a lot more construction, but it really wasn't too bad. Like I thought it would be blocking things off a lot worse. And then I had another week of class last week, which was great and kind of busy, honestly. Like I'm just in like I have too many extracurriculars going on, so I honestly do more work for that than my actual school. But
That's kind of real, actually. Unfortunately, I do
yeah,
relate to that.
yeah. But I'm getting paid for one of them, which is really great. Because that's like helping me fund my trips.
Yes, gotta get that bread. Or that
But
baguette. Wait, in
oh
France,
my
I should
gosh,
say
gotta
that.
get
Like,
that
yes,
baguette.
girl, get that baguette, you know? Like,
Yeah. Oh, I should have. I actually didn't get a baguette in Paris, which I still have time to get a baguette. I'm still in France for 6 weeks.
but the way it works for
But then
both ways, because people say, like, get that bag, like, get that money, and then also, like, let's make that
oh my
bread.
gosh, wait.
Like, let's make
That's
that bread,
funny.
you know? Like, baguette.
Yeah,
That's like
that's
a
funny.
Nicki double entendre type
That's
vibe.
yeah. Yeah, you need to like copyright that or
Rap album
something.
coming soon. I'm just kidding. Let me not say that.
Oh yeah, wait. You haven't talked about your music on the
Oh,
podcast.
I released music. That happened. You can keep going with your
Yeah.
story. We can touch back to that
No,
later.
you should. No, I feel like this is a good intermission for you to
Oh,
talk
okay.
about your music.
I finished the songs that I was working on. There was like a fourth one, but I kind of was like, maybe not now. So I got them mixed and mastered and I loved. So I put them out and I took the little cover, had a little
They're
photo shoot
so
with my
good.
mom actually, like a month before.
Yeah.
So that was just fun. And I was actually really scared for the feedback. I was kind of scared people were gonna be like, oh, not this again, like not like more, not like music from another content creator or something like
Yeah.
that. But yeah, I thought it was fun and I'm actually working on like more stuff.
Yay.
But it's like,
How many people have like talked to you about it or responded to you about it?
oh my God, my principal, I was walking into school and she stopped me and she goes, Enzo,
What?
I listened to your music on Spotify. And I was
Oh my
like,
gosh.
oh, and she was like, it's so good. I was like, oh,
How did she
thank
find out
you.
about that?
I actually have no idea. I was trying to like wonder about the connections. Um, I don't know how, but I guess she found out.
I will
So
say I haven't listened to it as much as I want to have. I just like haven't had the chance to listen to as much music recently, and when I am, it's when I'm on like a plane and I only have downloaded music,
real.
which I keep forgetting to download new stuff, but it's so good. And like I'm not even wait, I need to look in on stats.fm and see who's your top streamer on that app because I should be, but
That's so
I know I'm
funny.
not.
And make sure to screenshot it so you can gatekeep me. Just
Yes.
kidding.
Oh my gosh. Thanks
That's a
for reminding
reference.
me.
That's an
Wait,
allude.
I need to
Wait.
screenshot something like that, yeah. I need to screenshot soft launch too that I shouted out
Oh
earlier.
yeah, and that's a reference to our gatekeeping episode. Go listen to that after this one if you want. But yeah, I released music and that was fun. And also that's just been like a bucket list New Year's resolution thing for years. I actually found this journal from a while ago and it was like in 2021 I will release music. So I completed my New Year's resolution just 3 years
Wait,
late.
I'm actually your number one listener on, but that's only of people that have the stats.fm app. But I only have 3 streams of your EP, which is so bad.
Unacceptable. And I'm just kidding. Shout out to my number one fan.
Yeah, you've like,
Bless
there's
you.
pollen up here. You have like 5 other people showing up for here, but they all have 2 or 1 streams.
Oh, that's fun.
But still, yeah, so the second weekend, aka this past weekend, I went to London, which was kind of like, okay, this is a long story, and this is a last minute thing too. So way back in like October or something, of 2023, Declan McKenna announced his like Europe tour for What Happened to the Beach. And Enzo's sister, Carolina, um, me and her were like, so Carolina was going to be studying abroad the same quarter as me, but like at a different place. So we were like, wait, let's get tickets to this and we can literally see Declan McKenna in his like hometown. That's crazy.
In his natural habitat.
In his natural habitat, literally. So we got the tickets, and then I never really got my hopes up because I was like, there would be a lot of logistics going into this. Like, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, like, we've already seen him and we've met him. So, like, it's whatever. It'll happen at some point. But then it turns out, so Carolina, her school schedule changed and she couldn't study abroad anymore until the fall. So I was like, oh my gosh. So, like, I'm either going to have to sell these tickets or find somebody to go with me. And I, like, had kept asking random people throughout the past few months, like, hey, I have tickets to this concert in London. And, like, I would say who it was, and nobody would, like, be interested. And I was like, okay, like, people should know who he is. And finally, like, a week and a half ago, my roommate, Caroline, was finally like, actually, I'll go with you because she actually knows how, like, 6 of his songs.
Okay, it's better than
really
just like
great.
the Brazil fans.
No, she even knew, like, British bombs.
Oh, that's a little bit more niche.
And, like, it's funny because today people, like, when we, like, talk to each other at the dining hall, they're like, oh, what did you do this weekend? And then, like, it comes across the topic where, like, oh, I went to a Declan McKenna concert, and they're like, oh, like, Brazil.
Yeah, that's the one.
And we went to this, like, pub last night, and this, like, guy sat next to us that was our age, and he was from Ireland. And so I was talking to him about, like, Irish music, which, believe it or not, I knew more Irish bands than him. So I, like...
You win.
Yeah, I win. But I said we went to the Declan McKenna concert last night, and he was like, oh, yeah, the Brazil guy, that's such a good summer song. And I was like, yeah.
Yep, it is.
It is.
But like, why do you feel so down is also good. Oh, that was a more popular one too. That was like, why do you feel so down?
I was like it's an act. Like,
it's an act. I want to hear that live so bad.
And so I was like thinking of you the whole time he was playing that because like you would have been like crying. I'm serious.
I cried when I first listened to it for some reason. I like didn't expect it. I was like, oh, wait, like what's going on?
The way that he did the lighting in that one, it was just beautiful. But that was like the best concert I've ever been to. I'm not even kidding. And it was like literally 10 times better than his US shows because the crowd was just so much better. By the way, my computer's at 7%, so we can wrap this up soon.
Yeah, it's also 3:15 for me.
And you have to go, yeah. But yeah, the crowd was really great, and like he just like really stepped it up. Like I was so proud. Like, and okay, also he needs to release a live album of What Happened to the Beach because it's so much better. I honestly don't love the production on the studio version, and it's so good live. Like, I Write the News, I had chills. It was amazing.
I Write the News. I actually like that song. It's cool how
like
it starts off kind of like a voice memo and then it transitions into like
I'm gonna go listen to that album again after this. I'm like back in my full like obsession era.
That's me with Nicki Minaj.
Anyways,
like, I'm like, oh, you're telling me I have to go to school and I can't just go to like every show.
Yeah, no, literally. I'm like thinking of if he announces a fuller Europe tour, like to France, like what if he goes to Marseille? I don't know. Nah, he wouldn't.
A Lacoste show.
Lame. Lacoste. No, like that would be awesome though. But yeah, so we went to London and it was awesome. Like now I don't know if I want to move to London or Paris more. I genuinely don't know. And we got to ride the London Underground and we went to Abbey Road and we walked across the sidewalk or the crosswalk. And we went to Big Ben. Big Ben was really cool. It had like gold. It was really pretty.
She's a pretty one.
We went to Buckingham Palace. We had tea at Kensington Palace that was really expensive, but like the most amazing afternoon tea. I don't know, like both cities just like I feel like fit my personality so well.
Like which one should you live in? Like take the poll in my bio right now.
But literally, like, this past weekend, I was like, this must be the best weekend of my life because I looked through my story on Instagram and I was like posting a ton on my story, but I was like, this is the most me story I've ever seen. Like, it's like Declan McKenna, T. I spotted a bunch of like Blur logos around the city because people actually know who they are over there. The aesthetic, it was just like very much me, but also the weather was really nice, which was probably a good thing because it wasn't raining or anything. So I didn't get like a negative impression of the city at all.
Yes.
But yeah, I kind of enjoy riding the metros and like the city life. We rode a double-decker bus to the Declan McKenna concert, which was literally so cool. Their public buses are just the double-decker ones. It's so cool.
Yeah, I feel like this is like the peak, Anna. Like this is you in like your final form. Like
No, yeah. I'm like, I just think, I think it's weird to think that I'm like in probably the best time of my life right now that I'm going to be looking back
but I feel
on.
like you can't think of it like that because like,
I know.
like
I know.
whoever said high school was the best years of your life, I'm like, who lied to you? Which classes did you take? And like,
Yeah.
where can I find you?
I've also been spending like a lot of money, but it's all like worth it because I'm more of like an experience spender. But I've been good about like my 2 trips so far have been like within a pretty good budget. And we just booked Barcelona for 2 weeks from today. And right now my group chat is texting, we're booking Rome right now.
Oh my gosh.
So we're doing Rome in about 3 or 4 weeks, I think.
Maybe
and then I'm
you
going
can
back
stay
to
at
Paris.
my dad's uncle's hotel.
Wait, would we get like a discount?
I can ask. We'll see.
Because they're like literally booking the Airbnb like right now.
Oh my gosh, wait.
But it's okay.
I'll ask
We
after
found
this.
a good
I also
price.
have to go. It's so funny that like you're about to go to bed or something and I'm about to go to work. Like time zones are so
No,
funky.
literally.
Like,
I'm going to go like finish up my homework and go to bed. But yeah, we'll wrap it up because my computer is at 3% and you have to go. So,
yeah, and I have to go to work and I look like a thumb right now. Like I just look like I just look
so
like I look a mess. But that is our episode. We hope you enjoyed our yap session.
Yes. We will. That will be a series now. And also, if you guys want to see more of my trips, I'm going to be posting on YouTube, or on my YouTube channel, Anna Catherine. We'll get a video up very soon. So go. I'll be back.
Yay, I'm excited
for you to see what I've been doing. Yeah, I'm excited for my return. My big return.
Your big return. I was just about to say that. Telepathy. Anyways, on that note, go follow the Telepathy podcast on whatever streaming platform you're listening on and give us a review if you want. And then also our Instagram is at the Telepathy pod if you want to check that out. We do fun interactive things on there. So yeah, hopefully we'll see you next week. Fingers crossed, because this week is a bit chaotic for me, but we will do our best, as you know. Yes, bon voyage. Wait, no, it's like, wait.
Yeah,
what is
au
it?
revoir. Au revoir.
Au revoir. Yeah,
au revoir.
wait, bon voyage is like
or
have
you
a good
could say
trip.
bonsoir. Yeah, or I can say bonsoir because it's night. Bonsoir.
Bonsoir. Oh, wait, yeah. Okay, I do that actually. Okay.
Au revoir.
Bye, guys. Adios. It's a different country.
Au revoir.
Bye.